What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today when I talk to you about SoFi, I want to give you a quick overview of some of the current data points, what shorts are doing, as well as what is really causing SoFi so much distress. So I'm going to go over all that, but first make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So right now, we are about to head into Power Hour, and so far today's been meh. Like, it's been nothing really crazy. The broader market clearly is just waiting for good old Apple earnings to come out after hours. So you never know. In the past, Apple's earnings has saved the broader market, but again, we'll just have to wait and see what does truly come out. But again, at the same time, a lot of people are still trying to digest what Powell said yesterday, even though for face value, it was somewhat optimistic. The fact that they did allude to more than one rate cut in the second half of 2024, a lot of people are kind of looking at it at a different angle, especially this question right here. So I'm not going to play it, it's 1 minute long, but essentially he was asked, was there any indicator that you would have at least foresaw that you would do different if you were to kind of go back in time? He paused for a very long time. So I think this is in reality what people are now saying as a very big negative, the fact that there might be something that has come out to signal a broader fear. And maybe it's apparent, maybe it's not. Like I've said, I think a lot of the consumer data that's been coming out has been relatively okay, has shown some signs of cracking, but that is one aspect that has held up like a champ throughout 2023 and so far 2024 that a lot of people are anticipating to start really breaking, if that makes sense. But as of today, there has been no specific news to SoFi, no SEC filings, nothing like that. When it comes down to me analyzing what large institutions are doing, they're not doing fuck all. Pardon my French. They are literally, there's 7 transactions today, one of which is over 1 million, so 1.62 million. But aside from that, big money is just completely overlooking SoFi like it does not even exist. So right now, 31.4 million shares being traded, 46.6 is the average. Like I said, we're about to head into Power Hour, and plus, I guess you can see the time right here, but big money isn't really looking at SoFi. It's just a lot of algorithmic trading. Algorithmic trading is linked to shorting, so that's why it's going hand in hand. I did have some people or some comments in previous videos saying that I focus so much on shorts. All in all, what I do, especially in these videos, I break it down on what is really influencing a SoFi or any stock at that moment and what might be coming in the foreseeable future. So for instance, whenever you have a stock that isn't really getting good institutional attention, that means there isn't strong support levels. That means bumps up like this right here, and similar to what happened this, even though it shows a lot of volume, it's just AI. So it's very skewed, misleading. And so ultimately, if there is a first sign of fear, as I brought up, it typically just tanks like this because there's no support, right? No institutions are buying, for instance, SoFi. So it's a very unfortunate circumstance because I really do like SoFi. So don't get me wrong. In a lot of my videos, I'm just analyzing the data. Underlying, I am bullish on the actual company itself. But without institutions really getting in and supporting SoFi, it will continue to trend down. So that's just my own opinion, of course. When it comes down to shorts, I think they, even in that regard, are waiting for Apple's earnings. So right now they're returning 165,000 shares and they haven't done jack all. Like I said, today's been just like a meh kind of day. People are just waiting for something to either drive the market higher or lower. But as it stands, like I said, shorts are returning. 20.23% of the free float is being shorted. 200.86 million shares overall are being shorted. And then cost to borrow average is 1.01%. And so again, just to clarify, the fact that I'm bringing this up does not mean that SoFi is a squeeze play. I like to analyze what these individuals are doing because they are betting that the underlying assets, such as SoFi, is going to go down. So to see what they are doing is a very good telltale sign of kind of if SoFi needs to adjust. And so again, not necessarily the best, especially ever since their earnings. As you can kind of see right here, they have just doubled the hell down. Going over analyst ratings, so there was one new one that did pop up, and so that does show, even though it shows yesterday, $12 price target, Mizuho, Dan, who does have a 50% success rating, so not necessarily the best, but still though, a $12 price target gets brushed under the rug. Of course, the forefront, the bearish ones are just complete panic and everything like that. So it is just a very unfortunate scenario. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Aside from all of that fun jazz, let's talk on some options. So 4.55 million in calls, 2.42 in puts. Sentiment wise, 45% of all the options being done today are bearish. And of the call options that are being purchased, you do see a consensus for it to be above 7. Just to briefly look at the open interest. So you do see a very big wall at 7, 750, and 8. So like I've said in the past, normally market makers do not want SoFi to get above these resistance levels that is made by options. So 31,000 at the 7, 45 at the 750, and 61,000 at the 8. So if SoFi would have had some kick-ass earnings and it closed, let's say at the 9, wow, this would be the mother of all gamma squeezes, not short squeezes, because keep in mind there's a difference between gamma. So gamma is associated to options, and then short squeezes obviously shorts, but definitely going into the next couple days, or I guess tomorrow being Friday, we'll just have to wait and see if SoFi does have enough momentum to kind of get above this $7 range. But as of late, it hasn't. Even today, it did bounce off of a very key resistance level. So I do bring up SoFi every single morning in my pre-market video, and I said you really needed to watch this 7-11. And so that was the high, bounced off of that. Not really enough justification for it to be above that, despite what Powell did say yesterday. So the next point to really watch for is a very wide gap. So there's going to be a lot of volatility in the foreseeable future, but $6.60 will be that next strong support. Then 7.11 is going to be that next strong resistance. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. But on the actual chart, so I do have, this is the intraday right here, so a little bit more of a detailed view. So you do have the 50, 100 day moving averages. You also have VWAP, the stochastic RSI, and momentum. So kind of more of a day trading viewpoint. You do see that SoFi has been largely trading below that VWAP, so it's not really been having enough momentum to stay above that. But even just zooming out, looking at the 1 day, you do see its lower percentile of the Bollinger Band, a bearish deviation, so red line above the white, but it has reset. So again, that's somewhat of a positive. I did say, especially when it was right here, the first sign of weakness, you're going to see a significant sell-off. Maybe that did attribute to the, I guess, overreaction due to the earnings, in my opinion. So that has obviously lent it, or kind of led it to where it is right now. Number of retail investors are slowly getting back in. So we'll just have to wait and see what does come out. Despite number of retail investors getting in, institutions aren't. So I think in reality, for SoFi to hold these support levels, it needs institutions to get in. So I don't know, maybe Cathie Wood, if you are listening, just buy a little bit more, or someone, or even Warren Buffett. Like Warren Buffett, if he got into SoFi, that would be absolutely epic stuff. So yeah, at this stage in the game, we're just kind of stuck in limbo. Let me know your thoughts on SoFi. Give yourself a shout out. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? And when it comes to, for instance, Apple, do you think that their earnings is going to be a meet or a beat? So obviously that question is not really correlated to SoFi, but SoFi is going to really move as a byproduct of their earnings, as will the broader market. So don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And with all that, appreciate all of you watching.